Yo, Tommy, open up!
Welcome to The Rebound, Australia's #1 business show that wakes up the entrepreneur in all of us.
The tools of business have changed, but the principles, they remain timeless.
And we are your hosts, Steve Sammartino, Tommy McCubbin, Rad Yo, and Bertie Ocampo.
We are going to bring together business and technology to empower you.
This is The Rebound. Strap yourself in. Hey, Megs.
Hey Tommy, can I quickly get your initials?
Yeah, sure. Thank you. And the Rebound team are pro level.
They have designed every single detail to help us get the best show possible. They've got the hair going, the makeup, rollers and glitter. Even got tape on the floor, show us exactly where to stand. And what about that lighting? Give us the best angle.
Takes skills to find that angle.
Ooh.
But whether it's a product, experience, good design always makes us feel something, doesn't it?
Rad Birdie, we're talking design. Tell me some design you peeps love.
Xbox Adaptive Controller. So it's a video game controller that's both accessible and modular, but my very favorite thing about it is that it has channels at the back for where you plug in cables. So you don't need to crawl back behind there. You just put it in the channel, slide it down, in it goes. I love it so much.
Hashtag cable life. Now, what do you love?
I love Allbirds wool runners. They're the most comfortable shoes I've ever worn and is ethically made from merino wool. You can even wear it without socks. I wore it once with no socks in the middle of New York winter and my feet were incredibly warm.
Oh, sound good for the post-winter surf. Warm those toes up.
Listen to how you guys are talking about these products and these businesses. When design is done well, it's an absolute love affair, isn't it?
Okay, as always, let's look back at a brief history of design.
Design is the process of a creator crafting a thing, product, or experience until it becomes functional, effective, and pleasing to the senses. Things, when designed, have the power to change who we are, such as when a hotel concierge remembers our name and makes us feel special, or when a velvet rope makes us think the venue is special. Looking back, this is a universal human truth. Take the 16th century battle between the Catholic and Protestant churches. Traditionally, Protestant churches were plain in their design. This reflected their values of everyone can connect with God no matter where you are. The Catholics, on the other hand, invested heavily in design. Their epic cathedrals, ornate stained glass windows, and stunning imagery of Christ reflected their belief environments heightened the experience. So, in business, we have the ability to change how our customers feel about us and our brand. When we walk into a boring office or struggle with a ketchup sachet, poor, lazy design has a negative impact on us. So since forever and until forever, smart, beautiful design is and will always be an ingredient of success. You know who the best designer is? Nature. Let's take the humble banana. Ergonomically designed, easy to peel. It even tells you when it's fresh. This one, too far gone, perfect for smoothies. But after billions of years of split testing, they've perfected design. So, what can you steal from nature?
There is a classic business process we subscribe to at The Rebound called design thinking.
It's a process we've both run in workshops for dozens of clients, which today we're going to share with you.
Okay, whether you're wanting to create a new product or innovate an existing one, this simple process gives you the best chance of success. So, step 1, observe. Watch your target customer. Define the problem you see them wrestling with.
Step 2, test. Put some ideas into action, the minimum viable version of that solution, and see how people respond to it in the wild.
Step 3, iterate. When you get some traction, improve with iterations, then go back to step 1. If you want to know more about design thinking, just jump onto the website or hit us up on the socials.
Now let's play a game which puts design thinking to the test. It's called Fail or Scale.
Ooh, I like the sound of that.
So Sam, this is a game where I show you the product innovations which have used the exact design thinking process. And you need to choose whether it's a fail or it's ready to scale. And you can play along at home on our Insta stories. Find us at The Rebound TV. You ready for your first one?
I'm ready, a bit nervous.
The timed red light.
Love it, that's scale. I mean, I'm in a hurry. I want to know when I'm ready to walk, so I am all in on that one. Scale it. I want that everywhere.
Yeah, this gets the green light from me too. Ever had trouble pouring your soft drink?
I can't believe money and time has gone into this. That's the biggest fail of all time. It's just more plastic. We don't need more plastic.
So, capital F fail.
No, capital F fail. I don't even know what to say. Why do they have to be bananas? Oh, it's slipping. Oh, now I'm embarrassed.
See, I think this is fabulous design.
No, it is.
This doesn't involve software or hardware, but they're taking something mundane and they've made it iconic. And for me, I think this is fabulous design. It's got a sense of humour, but it's still functional.
Yeah, and it's good for kids running around. I mean,
It's not good for kids running around. It's terrible.
No, it's to stop them running around. That's the whole point. You've got to stop them.
Scale or scale? Where are you at?
That's a scale. I love that.
Yeah, I'm with you. Now, this one's an interesting one. I think this could be a lifesaver.
Yeah, this is genius. And one of the things I love about this is it's saying we've got a technology, we've got laser tech, which is quite cheap these days. How can you use it to an old problem? I love that idea when we get a product where there's technology that's become accessible and cheap and we put it in a new situation. It's classic horizontal thinking, really smart stuff.
So, scale.
That is big scale.
Okay, now, the tread on your tyre. When you wear it down, quite often you've got no idea. Whereas some clever cat has designed a tyre where when it gets bald, it shows up red.
Yeah, that's really smart. And that's a great way to increase the consumption of the product by showing when it's usable. It's almost like a use by date for tyres. That one's a wallet out situation for me. I'm investing in that.
There you go. Well, there's a selection of products, fail or scale.
Okay, so there's a bit more iterating to do for some of these. But now, let's get pumped for our next guest, ZeroCo, who prove no matter how much you refine the design of something, it's never really finished.
Do you reckon fail or scale is a fail or a scale?
That's the scale. I love that idea.
I like it too.
Welcome back to The Rebound, the show that proves design is more than just a logo, but at the core of every successful business. Now, our next guest, ZeroCo, starts their pitch with the design of their packaging.
If good design makes us feel something, ZeroCo has been built with design in mind from the ground up. Their beautiful, colourful brand imagery and products pleases our eyes, and their mission to clean up oceans with recyclable plastics, that warms our hearts. So we're joined by Mike, the founder and used pouch salesman, Mike, of ZeroCo.
That's me.
Can we just pause for a second and just talk about the used pouch salesman?
Yeah, we can. So look, we're on a mission to solve the single-use plastic problem. We make personal care and home cleaning products, and we deliver them direct to Aussie homes. In your first order, you get what we call a forever bottle made from plastic waste pulled out of the ocean, and a reusable refill pouch made from plastic waste diverted from landfill. So you fill up this with this, and then you send this back to us to get cleaned and reused, right? Which makes me a used pouch salesman.
I love that. I just love the idea of language and language influencing design. Forever bottle. Like, we need to be knowing this is a forever and this is single use and move to that. So is language an important part of how you design your products and educate people?
It is, right? Because we have this saying in the team that single-use plastic is stupid, right? And there's a lot of misinformation out there in the world about single-use plastic, right? So 85% of the plastic that you put in your recycling bin at home that you think gets recycled actually doesn't. It goes to landfill. So our model is have one bottle that you keep at your house and refill over and over and over again forever.
You've designed a really interesting customer experience. Are you seeing the rest of the category stand up and take notice?
And look, I'm not going to name names here, but one of the very big Australian companies that is our direct competitor have recently released a bottle that looks almost identical to our laundry liquid bottle. It has almost the identical tagline on it, but they are not doing anything at all to solve the single-use plastic problem. So we are seeing a kind of avalanche of greenwashing coming out from the big companies who are seeing the success that we are having, trying to replicate what we look like and what we say without actually trying to solve the single-use plastic problem. So people are, definitely paying attention to what we are doing.
Well, they don't have you, Mike. And I think what's interesting is you mentioned that they're saying stuff. You're doing stuff. Your team is out there actually making a dent. Just tell us about what you were up to last week.
The 17 people in our company now, we all went up to Fraser Island, Gari as it's known by the Indigenous people. We spent 3 days on the beach picking up rubbish. We collected 547 kilos of plastic rubbish off the beach, which was 21,159 individual pieces of plastic. We then take that plastic, we process it, we recycle it here in Australia, and we turn it into our next generation forever bottles.
So looking back, what advice would you have given yourself at the start of the Zero Code journey?
Two things. First of all, don't try and launch a business during a global pandemic. That really sucked. And secondly, go big, go hard, go fast right from the beginning.
All right, let's leave Aussies with a message. What do you got?
So this month is Plastic Free July, right? There's a big campaign around Australia to try and get people to ditch single-use plastic, and we would love it if you came to zerocode.com.au and joined us on our mission to eliminate single-use plastic.
You heard the man. The Rebound is going to be on that. We'll see you soon.
Have you got a burning question for me? I'm here to answer all of your questions. It's Bertie, B-E-R-T-I-E. I'm Bertie from Shopify, and this is Burning Questions with Bertie. I'm getting traffic to my online store, but it still isn't converting. How do I find out what's wrong? Lots of traffic is a great sign. And if you know you have a good product and the price is right, try doing a design audit on your site and use these psychological design tactics that make brains tick and visitors click. Design for your target market first. This is sometimes overlooked when building a website. Remember to put yourself in their shoes. Color theory is one of my favorite topics when it comes to design and marketing. The fact that certain colors can convey so many different emotions and actions is fascinating. Do you need to simplify things? Think about how a user might interact with your site and remove everything unnecessary. Acknowledging that people are using their thumbs and fingers to interact with your website is essential. Design for mobile. Have a picture of someone looking directly at or pointing towards whatever it is you want the visitor to pay attention to. There's lots here, right? The Rebound is all about providing actionable insights. We've published a link to this article on Shopify's toolbox found on the Rebound website, so head there now to learn more. My bounce rate is higher than what it's meant to be. My product sells like hotcakes in retail, but not online. What's wrong? For context, Tom's question is about their store's bounce rate, which represents the percentage of visitors who leave your site without clicking to other pages. This sounds like a user experience issue, and if you're not optimizing your e-commerce UX yet, know that your competitors are. Stores pour thousands into Facebook ads, into product research, and into design, yet UX goes undervalued and underinvested in. And it's a problem that affects your visitors, your customers, your profits. Typically, UX is gauged based on how easy and enjoyable it is for visitors to navigate your store, find what they're looking for, and make a purchase. When you think of UX, I'm willing to bet design comes to mind. It's important to note that a lot more goes into a positive user experience than design, like load times, font sizes, clear copywriting, the list goes on. So head to Shopify's toolbox on the Rebound website to explore this one further.
Welcome back to The Rebound. Now we've seen how design built Zero Cohen empire. Now it's time for you to get busy. This is Fast Track Hacks, powered by Optus 5G. Walk through the customer experience of your business. Have you got shareable moments along the way? It's the simple things like a handwritten note with every product shipped or a new daily drawing on the blackboard. All of that gets shared and it's free media.
Start with a pen. Sketch up the thought quickly and fluidly, old school. Pen and paper is more free form. It doesn't let the tech get in the way of the design. You can make it digital later.
Never settle for version 1. Have a mindset where you constantly make your product or service better. Try new ideas on the fringe, kill the ones that don't work and scale the ones that do.
Stop and observe. Stop and look at your business, all of it, and resist the temptation to do anything except look, and look for a long time. You'll see design improvements everywhere.
Design for all 5 senses. Go beyond the eyes and think about how your product smells, sounds, feels, and even tastes. It can be an easy way to create a point of difference, especially if your competitors only think about how things look.
Use templates. If you need it, you can be sure a template of it already exists. Shop layouts, warehouses, websites, everything. Design templates are already tested and available. You've got to use them.
Here's a hack made possible by Optus. Take control of your social channels and schedule your posts. You can't do everything at once, so use software to do it for you. We've listed the top 3 scheduling platforms in a post on the Rebound website.
Okay, that flight's booked. Hey, you know what's interesting? How much design detail has gone into aircraft. I mean, even the seat alone. Think about the tray table, the video player, the safety features. All because the cost of flying is so high and every last millimetre matters. And so they design things to be efficient on purpose to save costs and make your flight cheaper. When things are expensive and every last dollar matters, design thinking can make a really big difference.
Design is everything, darling. From clothes to architecture to everyday household gadgets. Good design can turn almost anything from practical to pleasurable, such as a humble vacuum. For most, it's simply a machine of necessity, a thorny hurdle between themselves and a clean, comfortable home. But then Dyson came along and changed the game. By pumping an extraordinary amount of resources into research and development, they practically reinvented the vacuum cleaner and elevated a cleaning device to almost cult-like status. Despite being eye-wateringly expensive, Dyson's reputation of pristine design is so strong that rather than being a turnoff, their products are aspirational. Oh yeah, that's the good stuff. Clever design consistently changes how we think about the world around us. Take the gamification of fitness, for example. From the Apple Watch to the Fitbit, fitness trackers have become a huge market because they've managed to reframe how we think about exercise. It's not just about health, it's the ability to look at beautifully presented data and fulfill daily goals. A little device with some smart sensors and pretty graphs has changed how a generation gets moving, all because someone designed something that made the experience more enjoyable. Design is where push comes to shove, and every part of your business reflects back on itself. It doesn't matter how slick your marketing is if your product has a rubbish design. And it's not good enough to have a well-designed product if your logo looks more clip art than professional. Creating pleasure is a step far beyond making something good. It's tweaking and refining every tiny detail until it works better than you knew it could, until it changes the entire game of what it means to do that activity. The devil is in the details, but then again, so is God. So design something that takes us to church.
Here's a story from my old boss, behavioural scientist Rory Sutherland, on how design can alter our perceptions. The Eurostar was upgrading their famous route which connects London and Paris. The total budget was £7 billion and would reduce the journey by 40 minutes. Now, Rory argues, if you take 0.01% of that budget and add high-speed Wi-Fi, you will drastically improve the experience, and therefore time spent on the train becomes irrelevant. Now, Rory also argues for 10% of that budget, you could have the world's top male and female supermodels pour vintage champagne. That way, the passengers would want the trip to go even longer. So here's cheers to design making things cheaper and much more fun.
So we've all noticed how long it takes to get a prescription from the pharmacy. Now, it's designed by the guild that way on purpose. Now, I'm sure they're qualified and they make sure everything's safe while they put that label on. But if they didn't have that friction in there and they made it too easy, it might give us a good enough reason to open up that market to their supermarket competitors.
Welcome back to the Rebound. Now you know design means much more than just your logo. What are you going to design or redesign? Today we looked at how design has the ability to change how we feel and behave, and the critical design thinking process of observe, test and scale. Now, it's my favourite part, Sam's monologue.
Good design isn't something that just pleases the eye. It's about the physical world. It's about users and flow, whether it's through a hotel, a factory, an e-commerce platform, or even a journey through people's minds. Sometimes though, we need to design for friction. Maybe we need to slow things down or even stop something. So we must design on purpose. It can't be an afterthought. Businesses are literally design systems, and they need constant attention and iteration. Design matters more than we think. And in a world where anyone can access or make anything, thoughtful design is increasingly how the game is won.
That was deep. Someone should have written that down. We did write it down. It's in a transcript in the Rebounds Dropbox folder on the website, thereboundtv.com.
And while you're online, why not check out our LinkedIn, Insta, TikTok, and YouTube for a whole stack of additional content, and chuck us a follow while you're there.
Good advice, Rad. Thanks to you today, and Birdie, and Tommy. I hope you guys felt it. I know I sure did.
Big thanks to our sponsors, Shopify, Dropbox, Optus, Toyota, Microsoft, and Reveal Group.
Next week, we look at how storytelling is the fastest way to grow your business.
All the world's a stage and everything's a story.
Let's break down how this story is worth $500 billion.
A little less conversation, a little more action, baby.
This has been The Rebound. We'll see you next week.